makes it fun when we see some guy, and is that a guy or a chick? I don't know. God, I really want to take a look to see if there's a cock there. Oh my God. I mean, it's like a game. It's fantastic. Quit trying to figure it out.
You're listening.
Yeah, like all the time I'm listening.
WATP with Christian, Eric, and Carl sometimes.
Listen in your office, in your car, or even your neighborhood bar.
We're doing it. We're doing it. We're having fun. We're making it happen.
It's fun time. Open your mouth, close your eyes. We're going to give you a big surprise.
And here it is.
Welcome to Who Are These Broadcasters? We're back. We are live. I am Christian Bladt. He is Eric Zane. Easy. It's great to see you. It's been a minute, hasn't it?
It's been too long. It's been too long. How are you? Everything good on your end? Can you hear me okay?
I can hear you okay. Everything's going great. You know, you and I both had some time off recently, and I have to say, I had a wonderful trip back east with my family, doing incredible things in New York and New Jersey. But best of all, there were no problems with any of our mode of transportation. Airplane, automobile, commuter train, subway. Everything ran flawlessly, and I got a great night's sleep every night. How was your vacation, Eric?
Oh my God. I want you to vent. I would love to hear more about that. Maybe it would be a therapeutic phone call for you to describe how fucked up it was.
Well,
Jesus.
I know you were in Maine. I hope you were able to go up to Bar Harbor because it's wonderful there.
What a shit show. I hate Bar Harbor. Did you know I was going to hate that?
Yes. I checked out your show last night because I wanted to hear, because I saw in the description that there may have been some RV difficulties. And
Okay.
I tell you, I enjoyed that so much more than if everything had gone flawlessly.
Yeah. It was a nightmare. People love plunging a goddamn toilet on an RV. That was horrible.
I believe your wife had to put her hand into the toilet before
She
you started
did.
using the plunger.
She did, which is remarkable. That was our first go-to. Most people start with the plunger.
Yeah. Hamilton Berger is going to have to watch later. So he just wants to say everyone involved in this show in the chat is gay. 2024, that's a compliment. So I hope you're not trying to disgust us. So I think everybody should check out, I guess that's yesterday's episode of the Eric Zane show. That's not today. So make sure that everybody finds that. And if you like Eric, but especially if you dislike Eric, you're really going to enjoy. For the most part, it seemed like, you did some hiking, had some good stuff. The only other thing I'll say before we move on is who goes to Maine and gets lobster prepared in every way possible except a lobster roll? The single most famous presentation for lobster in New England. And you're like, nah, I'm getting lobster tacos and bisque and lobster pate.
The lobster tacos were legendary. Goddamn it!
That sounds amazing. Yeah.
Oh Jesus, were they great?
I hate the state of Maine, but the lobster, I just haven't had fun there. But the food is wonderful. I love the lobster there.
Yes.
Well, I'm glad the vacations are over and we're ready to dive into what's important. Who are these broadcasters? By the way, what you just saw, clip it. You go ahead and send that to Carl and Blind Mike. That is how banter is done. All right.
Oh my God. That is great. Oh my God.
Well, anyway, let's start the show where we always do with who are these local broadcasters?
Others imitate it. We appreciate it.
I jumped the gun a little bit.
Yeah.
My wife will tell you that happens periodically. First of all, everyone should know to get tickets to DabbleCon 2, August 16th and 17th in Rochester. Those tickets are carlsoncomedy.com. It pains me that I won't be able to be there, but I had a great time at Hackamania, and it seems like everybody will have fun at DabbleCon 2. There's no reason you in the audience shouldn't be there, so please check it out. And Eric, we forgot the most important thing. Trying to hit the goal.
Yeah.
So
okay.
we got to tell
absolutely.
everybody how super chats work on this show. Right now, we are $360 away from the goal. We've hit nothing towards our goal. So please let everybody know how they can help us get to the goal.
It's important to channel your inner Imhol and know that this show is dependent upon you. So we like to pass the hat just like all the other loser shows. And if you have anything that you want Christian to sign off with, something ridiculous, maybe horrible in nature about whatever, him touching kids, who knows? Maybe maybe someone needs to be unalive. You need to point that out. Christian will say that as his sign off. All you need to do is write out what you want him to say and attach a dollar amount to it. Now, don't be a cheap bastard. Okay, throw a few. We're hoping for at least $18. So anyway, throw a few bucks at it, or if you just want to have us say something, or if you want to say something, put some money about that on that as well. You can also be posted if you are funny, if you're funny. So like this
case
in
point, JFK headshot.
Sorry.
Premium. This show turned me into a cutter. Absolutely. But there was one that I liked here. JFK head chunk, the true star of who are these broadcasters. I think everybody agrees. Everybody knows. Everybody agrees. He's amazing. Tell us about your gaycation. And our friend Nicola. My God, Zane had the full trump at the beauty therapist. You do look like that. I believe that's a natural tan, but it does look spray.
Yeah, it does have that vibe to it. And
Sure.
yeah, I get a little sun. I get quite orangey. So
Yeah. Well, this one I'm delighted by in the chat because with my time in southern New Jersey, I did spend, I had a couple of visits to Wawa. Annoyed Wawa supervisor in the chat, just stopping by to let you know that unlike Mr. Blatt, Wawa can feed a family of 4. It's now Hoagie Fest at all locations until August 11th. Hashtag Wawa cares. Annoyed Wawa supervisor, you don't sound very annoyed. So obviously Hoagie Fest is the most wonderful time of the year, possibly second to Honda Days, but I'm glad everybody's celebrating it. Well, there you go. Stream. All right, everybody. We are now $358 away from the goal. Streamlabs, PayPal, Venmo. Go ahead. Let's start a rally going here. We only need $358 more dollars. Get to it, people. You're absolutely right. I played the stinger already. Sean at West, can you even be slightly funny until soccer comes on? Can I be funnier than soccer? Absolutely. 100%. Can I be funnier than an interesting sport? Verdict's out on that.
Okay. It makes sense now because he's said shitty stuff about us before. Of course, he likes soccer.
Yeah.
What a fucking pussy.
I love any game where it can end after 90 minutes and some extra time and it's still 0-0, whereas they'd immediately correct you 0-0.
Nice sport.
Yeah, exactly. Here's what Zane needs to know. You know who has been keeping a close eye on soccer while he's been podcasting? Carl Hamburger. So that'll tell you everything you need to know about the soccer fan.
Fucking shit.
All right. So, Eric, maybe your vacation had a couple of bumps in the road. Maybe somebody had to hold shit in their hand by reaching into the turlet on the RV. But here's a clip that's going to show you, vacation could actually be a little bit worse.
Gallon Hospital. Tabitha Sullivan of Salina recalls her terrifying escape from a shark attack on the 4th of July in the waters of South Padre Island. The shark bit off her left calf.
Yeah, my leg's pretty much gone. They flushed it out today.
So I'm going to pause this here because you might be surprised, Eric, and the audience too. I am not pulling this clip to make fun of the woman whose leg got chewed up. But there is someone in this clip that I think drew my ire a little bit.
It's all the way to the bone. It did not go through the bone.
Tabitha's husband, Carrie, came over to her rescue as the shark followed her into shallow water.
This is his foot.
Carrie is now by his wife's bedside.
So her husband, who, she says all the right things about how he, helped her get away from the shark, but he has the audacity to let himself be filmed with a scratch on his leg and a bandage around his foot. By the way, if I take away the logo that's there for our visual audience, you will be able to count. He has 5 toes.
Oh,
so yeah.
Jesus. My God.
So this guy's like, yeah, that sounds terrible, honey. But look at this scratch. Okay. I'm not able to go out and play pickleball with my bros.
What is he? What is he doing? What? I don't understand. And so there's got to be another injury under those bandaged up portions there, right?
Let's hear the account of the way it went.
Covering from bites down his leg from fighting the shark off.
If my husband didn't jump into action and everybody else on the beach, if I didn't have that crew pulling me out and not just being there to pull me out, but jump between the shark and me, I don't think it would have stopped.
So do you believe her account that her husband jumped between her and the shark and only got basically some scratches?
Yeah, that is weird. It doesn't seem like that makes sense, does it?
No, it doesn't. And how would you handle that situation? A shark attack to your wife in the waters? I'll answer first. I would run away.
Oh no, I would.
Oh fuck! It's a shark.
You know what they say: see something, say something. So I would yell at the shark, "Hey, get out of there! Get away, shark!"
You'll be like the guys that we've shown who've had like bears in their kitchen. Hey, Mr. Bear.
Yes.
Can you go outside, please?
I'd be screaming, I need a new wife.
This is just some B-roll of the shark in the water. So again, our visual audience is the only one that's getting to enjoy this. But I mean, that's a shark, and he's just swimming around in South Padre Island in Texas, which this that might bump it down for a hot vacation destination for this summer, don't you think, Eric?
Yeah, absolutely. And I think of that on that day, there were several in the same spot. And everybody knows that sometimes there's a conflict between the local cops and the mayor about closing down the beach during an important holiday. So they didn't close down the beach, and people kept getting eaten. I'm never going to the ocean again.
No. The ocean is it's overrated. And you know what else is overrated? Animals. Animals suck. Christina Marie had a comment. What was that? If she had brought food for the shark, I bet it would not have bit her. Yeah, that's true. If she had, you know what? If she had a hoagie from Hoagie Fest at Wawa and just tossed it to the shark, he would have left her alone. That's why I always swim with a hoagie from Hoagie Fest. If that story didn't convince you that animals suck, let's take a look at an alligator in South Carolina who's trying the old hiding in plain sight trick.
Yo, this is happening right now. This is at the Publix on Trolley Road.
So an alligator was spotted underneath shopping carts outside a supermarket in Somerville, South Carolina, a few weeks ago.
There
and
is an
don't worry,
alligator.
we're going to get a good look at him. Yep. There he is.
It's fucking unbelievable.
He's just like, well, I'm going to hide under here. How long am I going to have to wait before something delicious walks by? Probably not very long.
Well, you know how it is. That the guy who has to go get those carts is always the local kid who's, 38 years old, lives with his mom, IQ of like 50. He'll be dead.
Yeah, no, that's who they're going to have. They're going to go have him in there. And, they have it. I like that they have caution tape and some other shopping carts around, because the one thing I know about alligators is that they're really slow. So people should stand around and watch. There's no chance that if he gets it in his head that these looky-loos here that are taking videos, and this woman named Lisa Royal, who filmed the clip that we're looking at, shared it on something called Storyful. I don't know what that is. These could all be confirmed kills by this point, because this was back on June 25th.
But if you think about it, it's in a perfect location to actually grab it by the tail, because the carts that are around the fucking thing would keep it from whipping around, I think.
You would think that, but I don't know. I think what is most likely to happen is that the alligator is just going to get annoyed. And I don't know that that's what any of us should want in that situation. Like, oh, let's try and piss him off. So I don't have to worry about seeing that. But again, sticking with our theme, Eric, that animals suck. In fact, I'm going to take it a step further. Animals are trying to wipe us out. They're trying to eradicate humans from the earth. Even allegedly man's best friend.
This is my nightmare. You see that little guy on the left of your screen? Yeah, a curious dog is to blame for a recent house fire in Colorado Springs. Video shows this dog jumping up, placed his paws on the stove in the middle of the night, and he was trying to inspect some boxes near the stove. And that's when it accidentally turned that stove on, as you can hear. And a few minutes later, this happened. All those boxes caught fire. Thankfully, the family that lives in the home called fire officials, but were able to put that fire out before crews arrived, and everyone made it out safely, including that little dog. One person had to be treated for smoke inhalation.
Oh, and the dog is has that shamed look on his face because he just burnt the fucking house down.
Yeah. Well, whatever's in those boxes, I'm going to assume it's edible, and the dog probably wanted it. And I don't know about you, Eric, but I always store everything on top of the burners on my stove. I always figure that's the best place to put everything,
Who has the top of their stove as a catch-all for Amazon packages?
When I have drained motor oil that I have to go, take to the recycling place, I'm like, well, where can I put it that it's out of the way? I know, on top of the stove. In any case, that story got a lot of attention around the country. I liked that version of it because we got to hear the smoke detector. But if you want to hate something more than these animals, just listen to how this guy set up the same story.
He killed the cat, and that rule almost applied to a dog in Colorado Springs.
Yeah, the fire department says a dog started a fire at home last
week. Was he referencing 9 Lives?
I wish he was. And this isn't like a tie into the Garfield movie. He's like, well, curiosity killed the cat. Okay, it almost killed the dog, too. Sharon, let's take a look.
Asshole. Jesus Christ.
Yeah. I'm not sure about this guy's look, but something tells me that he's not thrilled about sharing the anchor desk with Sofia Vergara there.
He looks like a mongoloid Colin Farrell.
You know what? I can't. You know what? I took it away before, but yes, I think that there's so many drops that I should be taking as we record this show. And shout out to our friend Cardiff Electric, who sent me the one that we used at the very beginning of the show.
Perfect, by the way. Well done, Cardiff.
Yeah, because
what you lack in wit, you make up for in editing.
I will not stand for potato slander, especially because there's a guy in the chat who loves the potato but tolerates us. All right, so we're talking about the dogs burning down all of our houses, trying to eradicate us. So, Eric, after the dogs take out you and me, their next part of their plan is to help themselves to our women.
Thursday, with that chance of seeing some of those isolated cells pop up on a Thursday in Silverthorne, Colorado. Now,
so this is a weathercaster named Caitlin Connell, who is actually very present on social media. There are a lot of videos of her. So she was visited by a snow dog named Mayor Parker. And I think that, what do you think he smells there that he's trying to lick up?
Absolute tit juice. Look at that. Oh my God.
This is, they used, remember when we were kids, Spuds McKenzie was the ultimate party animal, but he didn't get puss the way that Mayor Parker does.
Seeing some of those isolated cells pop up on a Thursday in Silverthorne, Colorado. Now,
he's not taking no for an answer, which is one of the things we have to teach the dogs.
Bringing us the potential of
no means no, Mayor Parker.
Storms rolling through areas of Arizona and even into New Mexico.
Why are they doing this? This is so dumb.
Quite the punch.
Because they did a whole segment where she talked to this dog and its handler. So let's have him sit here for the news ahead of time. To Wire Christian, doggy smells cum on her hand. Possibly not wrong. That's not necessarily what I was thinking. But what I appreciate, and if you look at the image that we're paused on right now, he knows that he's not going to just get to, tackle her and have his way. He's trying to be affectionate. He's giving a little foreplay. He's giving her little doggy kisses on her neck. Because he knows that drives the bitches crazy. You know that, don't you?
Yeah, sure. Right. I don't remember that word means anymore.
Me either, actually. So he really had fun. And shout out to Caitlin Connell, who posted this on her own social media. So this isn't one of those ones. Go ahead.
If that dog was named Donald Trump, he could stick his paw right in her twat.
Well, that's the next iteration of the dogs. They haven't actually learned that yet. All right. So I believe that we are now having a super chat. Zane, what did Lady K text you about Canadians? Hi, Christian Bladt. That's me. The great Cardiff Electric. Now he sends 279. So, God damn it, I can't figure out how far away we are from the goal.
Oh, no.
Because if it was an even dollar amount, even if it was 50 cents, but I don't know.
Everybody knows that Canadian is worth more than the U.S. dollar.
I don't know. Look,
that's $60 U.S. right there.
The point is, well, then we're still $300 away from the goal, Eric, and we appreciate Cardiff being here and super chatting us. Speaking of the goal, I want to welcome the audience of Steel Toe Morning Show. We embrace each and every one of you. Possibly looking for a new show. No questions asked as to why you ever watched the show. We just thank you for being here. We're going to treat you better than Aaron ever did. And our Johnny Crutches will make you laugh once in a while.
All right.
So there was a clip that was shown on multiple shows, so I'm not going to show it. But Aaron chastised his audience on Steel Toe Morning Show for falling $160 short of the goal that day. And he literally spent 6 minutes trying to get them to donate, as this earlier chatter said, Streamlabs, PayPal, Venmo, Super Chat, gift memberships. He's trying to tell them every way that he can give them money. And they did it. One of the things he was trying to do was tease that if we get to do the extra half hour, I'll talk about these two stories. Well, Eric, here at WATP Nation and our WAT Believers, which is a horrible nickname that I know you'll hate, and I'm so glad I came up with it. The WAT Believers, we are going to give you these stories for free. I want you to give me your thoughts, Eric, on a Mexican standoff from the land without any Mexicans, Minnesota.
Family is at their wits' end as police investigate a repeated crime that they say feels personal. WCCO's Adam Duxter shares the moment caught on camera and why what was taken from them means so much.
Feeling targeted, we're feeling harassed. We don't know what they're going to do next.
As the flag in Steve Rosenau's Lakeville yard gets higher and higher.
It started about right in here, and it's just has slowly worked its way up.
So for our audio audience, it's a pride flag that keeps being stolen from his tree in Minnesota. So he's showing us now where it started before the first time it was stolen.
His patience.
It was more of a invasion of our property.
Going in the other direction. Rosenau and his wife put up a pride flag months ago as a sign of solidarity. It has since been stolen 5 times. After this.
Yeah. So he has a security system put in. We'll take a look at some of that. But 5 times. If people keep stealing something from your yard, Eric, where's the time where you stop? I'm good after 2. I'm like, all right, clearly they want to steal this. I guess I'll just keep my pride flag inside. Also, not a gay couple. Just showing support. So they don't even really have any skin in the game, pun intended.
No. Yeah, but a part of me is like, fuck those guys, keep the flag out. And then the other part of it is, Jesus, why did I even fucking bother with this? This town is full of so many fucking idiots.
Well, it is Minnesota. Yeah. Even potatoes are famous in Minnesota.
Right.
So they put in the security system.
Second time, they bought a security camera, which has since caught thieves in the snow.
Okay.
And last Friday,
it was just different.
Wow. Now all their shirts are off. It looks like they're getting ready to fuck each other.
Well, that's what I was wondering. Was there's like 5 teenage boys, several of them with their shirts off. I think that they're not protesting the pride flag. I think that they're just embracing the lifestyle, and they have, let's just say, ulterior motives for that flag.
That looks like a fucking Anthony Cumia wet dream.
Yeah, well, I mean, if they have any little sisters, maybe, but I know what you're saying. But in any case, I thought that it was funny when we finally got to this point where we saw like these bros stealing the flag. And it's not the same people every time. It's just the word is out. And I don't know. We were once in the local paper because in my mom's garden, she grew a gigantic pumpkin in October. Yeah, that's a little bit of a flex for everybody. But when we were in the newspaper, the Greenwood Lake News, the weekly newspaper, what do you think might have happened to that pumpkin after everybody saw we had one?
Oh, yeah. They're going to fuck it up. They're going to take it and smash it right on your porch. That'll teach you.
Yeah, that'll teach you to be proud of your accomplishments.
Right. There you go.
Yeah.
There you go.
First couple times it got slashed and it was too big. We couldn't move it in. So, yeah. So sometimes maybe don't talk to the local news about how people keep stealing your pride flag. Because I'm not going to lie. If I lived in Minnesota, I'd go steal this guy's fucking pride flag. Just because I want to be part of the gang.
Yeah. People got to be taught a lesson about having nice things. Everybody knows that we don't actually deserve nice things, and someone's going to fuck it up. Quit being uppity.
Exactly. So I don't know. I appreciate the fact that this gentleman is so dedicated to the cause, but it seems like a lost cause, and like he put it higher up on the tree. So I'm wondering, I guess on the roof is, but I don't know if one of those idiot kids climbs up on his
Yeah.
roof to take it down and falls off. Don't they get to sue that guy?
Well, that, and why is this guy such a fucking pussy? If it happened once, then you wait, you have your own stakeout, and you just hanging a fucking baseball bat and kicking some ass when they go over to take your shit. There you go.
That's why nobody should steal anything from EZ's house, because he's going to be out there. He's going to take care of it. Well, speaking of taking care of business, what was that? That's all right. Was it Sean out west? Write a note that will discourage them. Yes, I agree. Please don't steal our pride flag.
Shut up and go watch soccer.
It hasn't started yet. Or you know what? If it has started, it hasn't gotten it interesting yet. So something tells me he'll be here for the whole show. So this next clip comes from Sky News in Australia, and I've called them out before in terms of providing just some tremendous content. So I appreciate all the work that's done in Sky News in Australia. This group of commentators have some thoughts on what might be the most sorry, I'm trying to talk too fast. The most effective protest that you'll ever see.
Cracking down on farmers in their bid to reach net zero. We've seen protests in Australia, in the Netherlands, in America, but no one protests quite like French farmers. Check out these guys who protested outside government buildings, spraying those government buildings with manure to make their point. Caleb, I reckon that would convince MPs to listen to your grievances.
I mean, I've heard of people cracking the shits, but that is taking it to a new level, I suspect. Only in France would you get a protest like that.
But you've
Do you agree with that? Do you think that that would only happen in France? I think he's giving the French too much credit.
Well, fuck. I can't say whether it would have happened in another nation. Definitely not a third world nation, or where there's a dictatorship. They'd be dead. They should try this in China just to see how quickly all these people will be killed.
Yeah. Also, someone in China, why don't you try hanging up a pride flag outside your house? See how that goes too. Let's see how much more fun these commentators are having.
Dunk everybody else out in the process as well.
They did indeed.
Oh, yeah, it was a bad joke. It's all right. It was worse than I remembered. But yeah, so that is what Steel Toe wouldn't share with his audience. He kept that to himself.
He did?
Those two clips.
So wait a minute.
Honestly, the next day so he might have shown them the next day. But he was teasing that for the extra 30 minutes that he didn't do that day because he fell $160 short. And I continue to be fascinated. But, you know, that's hardly the worst news that came out for Steel Toe last week. So, but it's the more fun news.
I think I know what you're talking about. I think I actually saw that clip about the text exchanges between the two exes.
Yes. There may be some real issues that, remember when we had those clips of Kevin Spacey saying that he's been known to be a little too handsy? It might fall into sort of an extreme version of that. But let's move on. I want to briefly head over to who are these award shows. I'm going to credit TMZ for presenting this. My buddy Eric Connor made sure that I saw it. We all know that the BET Awards were just recently held. I'm sure you made time on your vacation to watch with the family. I know my family and we all watched on the big screen. It was great. This setup is a little lengthy, but I promise you, after this setup, the next clip, you'll get the payoff as to why I'm sharing it. And again, thanks to TMZ for this. It's very passionate, very heartfelt. And let's jump ahead and see some of the luminaries that they honored at the BET Awards in Memoriam segment. So for our audio audience, it does indeed say O.J. Simpson, former NFL player. I mean, they left out his great acting work, by the way. I'm a little hurt by that. That might be the most hurting thing. But now that you know what it says on the screen, everybody listen closely to the crowd's reaction. Applause builds. And then it dies down because of Jose, and Rob Stone. Everybody's like, okay, yeah, whatever.
Was that a groan or just intensity of applause?
That was an intensity of applause. Well, we could go ahead and play that a third time.
Oh yeah, they roared.
They were very
They
happy.
roared.
Yeah, they were very happy
Wow.
to see OJ. I think I'm not going to play the whole in memoriam, but that definitely lent itself to building the applause throughout the entire memoriam. You know, I think the people were much happier once they got to that point. You want to read that one, Eric?
Yeah, DeWired Christian says, "Yo, that's my killer."
I appreciate that. Yes, that's the way we all remember. Panasonic Tooth, Rob Stone is black. I mean, I guess I saw that picture. I'm going to believe Panasonic Tooth. Panasonic Tooth has never, ever lied to me before. Sean out West says that was laughter. There might have been a couple of chuckles, but I definitely heard some applause,
Oh, yeah.
to the reminiscent of the day that the verdict was read when I was a sophomore in college, and there may have been let's just say a group of people on the other side of the wall from my dorm room who were a lot more excited about than the rest
Really?
of us,
Oh,
who might have
God.
been a little just, some of us were just stunned, like,
Jesus.
oh, how'd that happen? Okay, so anyway, it's fun when we still get to talk about OJ on this show.
Absolutely.
Gone too soon.
Absolutely.
Hashtag.
I don't even
RIP.
care about the killings anymore. I'm like sad. I'm like those people. Yay.
I mean, look, he's never going to do another hello, Twitter world. We're never going to get that again, Eric.
Yeah,
I mean, we can watch it. It lives on, but it's not the same.
I think it's an even trade for all the content we've gotten from him, and those two people got their heads cut off. I would say it's a wash. It's a tie.
All right. I'll clip this and send it to Fred Goldman and see. And he's going to be like, you know what, Easy? You're right. The content has been amazing. It's well worth it. All right. Speaking of worth it, let's head over to Who Are These Politics.
A lot of people talking about Christian and Carl's segment, making it great with Who Are These Politics?
And if we're going to talk about politics, we have to start with the candidate whose candidacy is really evaporating in front of our eyes. The slim odds of becoming the next president are pretty much non-existent. And I'm, of course, talking about our buddy, Robert F. Kennedy Jr. It was quite a week for RFK Jr. He's under some real heat. I have a collection of clips to share. I just want to go cold into this one. Eric, I want you to give a grade. You can give an A, B, C, D, E, or F. You could also give an Olympic, the judges holding up this. However you want to grade this, you tell me how he handles a little bit of a tough question from Fox News' Martha McCallum.
Fair story. I want to give you an opportunity to address it. That has a picture of you holding up what looks like a carcass of a dog and pretending to take a bite out of it. It's getting a lot of attention. So I want to ask you if you want to explain that photo. Is that a cheap fake? Is that a real photo? What was going on there?
Now, that is a real photo. It's of me at a campfire in Patagonia on the Fuleifu River eating a goat, which is what we eat down there. Vanity Fair said that they talked to veterinarians who assured them that it was a dog. That they had meta-analysis that showed that it was in Korea and that it was.
So we'll go back to him in a second, but I love that he says that JFK had Chunky's a human kazoo. Absolutely. And basically the idea is like in Patagonia, that's what we eat down there. Him and all of his Patagonian ninjas, that's what we do. That's how we do. We eat goat. So he's trying to dispute the facts that Vanity Fair presented.
Assured them that it was a dog, that they had meta-analysis that showed that it was in Korea and that it was in Korea of me eating a dog. And that statement is emblematic of the entire article, of the lack of sort of journalistic standards throughout that article.
Okay. I'm glad we gave you the opportunity to address that. Robert F. Kennedy Jr.
It's very difficult, first of all, for me to hear what he says and follow.
Yes.
Okay.
Wholeheartedly.
It's so. I mean, it would be less disconcerting if he used the fucking Stephen Hawking voice at this point.
So look, I don't know that he's lying. He could be telling 100% the truth. But when you talk like that, everything out of your mouth sounds like a lie.
Yeah. And I 100% believe that was a goat. Of course it was a goddamn goat. He's not going to eat a fucking dog. But Jesus, Dwyer says it a couple things. He has first clear the cum out of your throat. And then
RFK. Sorry, RFK.
He says his state of the speech would be terrorism.
The State of the Union speech, I'm sure, is what he means. Yes, to imagine it would take 4.5 hours. That would actually be. I'd like to get AI RFK Jr. to read like famous speeches, like the Gettysburg Address, and see how much longer it would take. Just feed it into the old AI machine. All right. So Eric, you say that you feel like it's a goat. Fortunately, our friends at the New York Post might not be quite as trusting. This is one of those ones where it's really a montage. I've muted the music because it's annoying, but I'll read it to everyone. So RFK Jr. ate a dog, texted photos of nude women. So that's the headline. And our audience can see this is the photo in question. First off, whoever that woman is next to him, who does not look like Cheryl Hines, do you think that anyone's ever been happier to have their eyes blacked out for some reason in a photo that's making the rounds?
Absolutely. Now, I can tell the ribs, but the head would be closest to the chick.
Yeah. And look, it's not necessarily built like a dog, but let's just say it's a little bit of some damning evidence. And whoever that chick is, I'm going to assume she's the one who provided the photo, and she's probably been sitting on it for a little while, waiting for a moment where it could do maximum damage. We'll talk a little bit more about some of the claims. So a newly unearthed photo suggests Robert F. Kennedy Jr. ate a dog while traveling abroad. In 2023, the independent presidential candidate texted a friend a photo of himself and an unidentified woman posing with what appears to be a barbecued canine carcass. Eric Zane says it looks like a goat. RFK Jr. says it looks like a goat. I'm going to say it looks like a dog because that makes for better content that I don't agree with you. We've been at this long enough that us all agreeing doesn't help anything with the narrative. And I hope the chat is divided. So this is a little bit of some... This is like Mr. Wizard stuff. There's a diagram, a 3D diagram that spins around. The carcass has 13 pairs of ribs, including a telltale floating rib that suggests it is, in fact, a canine, a veterinarian told Vanity Fair. That's what RFK Jr. was responding to, that they had a veterinarian who was apparently lying. She's part of Big Vet. The corporate veterinarians always tend to lie. So Kennedy shared the photo with a friend who was traveling to Asia and suggested the friend would enjoy a restaurant in Korea that had a dog on the menu. Once again, someone who's glad to not have their name revealed in the course of the story. Whoever got that text, even if you don't respond it and you block him afterwards, you're still the person he thought of as like, yeah, I think Trucker Andy might like to eat a dog. Let me go ahead and text him right now. And then he can do an all apologies podcast all about himself. He's sharing the images with people, being like, I'm telling you, eating dog is great. You should come check it out. Give it a try sometime. And the images metadata dates, so this is another thing he was referencing, dates to 2010, the same year Kennedy was diagnosed with a dead tapeworm in his brain. All right, I don't think that those are connected, unless you get dead tapeworms from eating dog. They don't mention that. They don't connect those dots. I would expect the Washington Post, the New York Post, to go a little further in their research on that. Wouldn't you, Eric?
Yeah, absolutely. This guy's fun. This is great. But look, I mean, it's a nice break from what we have with the because the other two candidates, that's a spectacle too. We live in a goddamn golden age when the guy no one gives a shit about is eating fucking dogs.
And remember, we had on this show the interview where he's like, oh, yeah, I flew on Jeffrey Epstein's plane a bunch of times.
Yes.
And I've had our friend, we were just talking about O.J. Simpson to our house, Bill Cosby to my house. Now, I'm not going to endorse the cause, but, O.J., there's something lovable about the juice. And Christine Nome catered the party. Thank you, JFK Head Chuck.
I'm starting to come around now.
Yeah. All right.
Starting to come around.
So there's a little bit more to this Vanity Fair story. The outlet, so this wasn't enough. The outlet also reported that Kennedy had a penchant for sending more than just bizarre meal pics, including sending his friends lewd photos of naked women.
Oh,
all right. I wouldn't mind being on that group text,
Did he eat her too?
I don't think so, but you know what? Her identity is concealed for a reason. So the friends assumed that Kennedy had taken the photos, but did not know whether the subjects had consented to being photographed or having the images shared. Well, yeah, I mean, I think you and I haven't been single recently enough where this digital age of sexting and sending photos to people, I only know what I hear from younger people who have freedom. They can go out and do fun stuff. Yeah. Mm-hmm. I hear about that. So I don't really know the etiquette on that, but I feel like if a lady sends you, a racy pic, it's not for you to share with all your friends,
Yeah. You might want to keep that close to the vest, but since he has, I mean, that's a Kennedy thing to do.
Yeah, that's true. It's very much in the bloodline. Nicholas says the right thing. A Kennedy that's a creep. Yeah. So,
right.
There's a little bit more to this story that I need before we get to the next clip. So this is actually, a report out of St. Anselm College found that 4% of voters are backing Kennedy's bid for the presidency. Now, the first time I watched this, Eric, I was like, wow, that's really high. And then I thought about the last 2 weeks. I'm like, oh, that's so low. That's so very, very low. I never thought that I would like a dog eater as much as I do right now. Is what I'm trying to say.
Right.
So,
oh shit.
All right. So a lot of this stuff followed RFK Jr. around. I wanted to get some of the facts sworn into evidence because this is obviously a legal courtroom proceeding that we do here. RFK Jr. figured, I'm going to go catch up with my buddy, my pal, Chris Cuomo over on News Nation, who, boy, we play more clips of this guy than I think anybody does, but it's a good conversation, especially because RFK Jr. kind of masterfully frames the situation. The fact that he is answering these allegations as a presidential candidate while Chris is on something called News Nation.
There is nothing about this conversation that I could ever imagine even a year ago. So, that you are where you are, that and we've known each other for, 20 or 30 years, that I'm running for president and that I'm being accused of eating a dog. No, I would not believe.
Yeah. He's like, look, I'm being accused of eating a dog, but you're on News Nation. What happened?
Oh,
what happened?
Damn. That is spectacular.
Well, there's more.
Leave any of those things. I am a very adventurous eater, Chris. I think you know about that about me. I'll eat virtually anything. There's two things I wouldn't eat. Well, three. I wouldn't eat a human. I wouldn't eat a monkey. And I wouldn't eat a dog. I think I'd eat anything else, but I just couldn't bring myself to do those things.
I don't think I would ever admit I'm an adventurous eater. Okay.
Do you think when you have this allegation of eating dog, the right response is, look, I'm an adventurous eater?
No, you don't want to give them any opportunity to maybe think that you are or that you would eat a dog.
Well, you're going to see a pattern in our next clip where he's addressing a different allegation that maybe saying that you're not a great person isn't necessarily the best approach. But let's let him finish his explanation here. And Chris Cuomo can't believe he's here either. He nodded when he said, I'm an adventurous eater. And we can just imagine, some of the meals that they shared together. And by meals, I mean snatch, sort of finishing on one end and trading places back in another. I'm sure that they allegedly had all kinds of fun.
So It is a goat, and you are what you eat.
I'm a goat.
The GOAT, the greatest of all time? Is that what you're saying about yourself, Bobby Kennedy? Such arrogance.
Yeah. So somebody on his team was like, okay, say it's a goat, and we got a great zinger for you. This is going to be straight out of the this is straight out of the Tom Brady roast.
You're not the dog, you're the goat.
You're the goat. And so he's like, it's a goat, and I'm the goat. All right. Well, you distracted us with cringe. So he was on another podcast that he addressed all the dog eating stuff as well, said kind of the same things that we saw, but a show called Breaking Points. He was asked a very specific allegation. There are a couple of sexual misconduct, the thing about the photos we heard about, but him possibly being inappropriate with a nanny. JFK Head Junk perfectly nails Fredo and the goat. And let's just say inappropriate behavior with a nanny. There's a specific allegation as to something that he may have done. And he decided that the best way to respond is like this.
I am not a church boy. I am not running like that. I said I had a very, very rambunctious youth. I said in my announcement speech that I have so many skeletons in my closet that if they could all vote, I could run for king of the world.
So, what do you think about that response, Eric?
Yeah, don't shut up. This guy needs to shut the fuck up.
I had misspent youth. I got skeletons in my closet. You're not helping. You're hurting.
Yeah, you're not going to win anyway. So quit. Yeah. So quit. He's trying that whole, I got nothing to hide, I'm just being honest bullshit. Hey, you can do that if you have a chance to win.
Yeah. Well, let's see how much more he piles on top of that.
Mm-hmm. So, this Vanity Fair is recycling 30-year-old stories, and I'm not, going to comment on the details of any of them. But
so the story is 30 years old, so it doesn't matter anymore. Right. I do follow that logic. I do think that there's someone else running for president who has kind of made a similar claim.
Well, there's that, and like OJ, we don't care that he killed people. I mean, that was a long time ago. It's okay.
Some people care. So let's just say some people care.
Maybe one or two.
Yeah, but let me see a show of hands of people who care. All right, where are the hands right now? Yeah, go ahead.
DeWired says his voice shrivels every cock and rise up every snatch.
Dries up every snatch.
Dries up.
DeWired Christian, even though you haven't helped us make the goal today, you're very funny and we appreciate those contributions. All right, let's see if he's able to get his way out of this.
I am who I am.
You're talking there about the nanny situation. I mean, I do have to ask her. I mean, are you denying it or not?
I'm not going to comment on it.
All right. Well, I gave you the opportunity.
That means
so. I'm not going to comment on it. Means one thing in the court of public opinion, the only court that matters, right, Eric?
Yeah, you did it. You did it.
Oh my gosh. Originally this episode was going to be titled The Goat, but something else came across my desk actually while I was messaging with you yesterday that we'll get to in a little bit. There's a little bit more to talk about in politics. But I know that like you, Eric, Whoopi Goldberg was off after the debate between Biden and Trump. So she wanted to get her 2 cents in. And I don't know, I assume you've talked about it on your show. Let's see if your thoughts match up with what Whoopi Goldberg has to say.
Care if he's pooped his pants. I don't care if he can't put a sentence together. Show me he can't do the job, and then I'll say, okay, maybe it's time to go. Now, he had a bad night the first time that he went out and debated with Kamala Harris. And everybody wanted him to quit then and say, you can't talk to women like this, or you're doing this wrong, you're doing that wrong. He came back, said, you know what, I got it, and gave 4 years. So, yeah, I have poopy days all the time.
Eric, do you have poopy days all the time? It sounded like on your trip it was a little bit poopy.
Yeah, but actual shit, which is actually better than the shit that is going on in Joe Biden's brain, which is probably shit too.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. There's something to Whoopi's explanation that, look, you knew how bad he was 4 years ago, and look how that's gone. So why not? Why not 4 more years? But I did thought that bringing poop into it was probably appropriate, right? Because, I mean, he's been in public eye for so long. What's the over-under on number of times that he has shit himself publicly?
I would say at least 5.
Yeah.
At least 5.
I'll take the over on that, but I think 5 is very respectable. So I have a clip that I actually heard this morning on the Eric Zane show. White House briefing with Press Secretary Karine Jean-Pierre and talking to someone from CBS. And I got to make sure I show the right clip here. Yeah. Who really wanted to know about this Parkinson's doctor. And look, the job when you're White House press secretary, you can't give an inch. You can't give anything. It's like being a prison guard. As soon as you give even half the inch, they've got you. So I appreciated this back and forth.
Tell you has seen a neurologist 3 times as it's connected to the to a physical that he gets every year that we provide to him.
That's a lie.
Or at least once in
So this is Ed O'Keefe, who's the White House correspondent for CBS News, speaking.
regards
I
to the
just
president
wait.
specifically.
Hold on a
That
second.
much you should be able to answer by this point.
Wait, no. No, wait a minute. Ed, please. A little respect here, please.
Well, that wasn't out of
Every time he
line.
has
That wasn't. I was like, you should be able to tell me
Yeah.
yes or no. Yeah.
I mean, and it's the fact of the matter is this Parkinson's doctor signed into the goddamn guest book. You know, like when you go to a funeral, you sign into the thing. The White House guest book. He signs his name, Parkinson's doctor. He writes it in, and so it's available. And he's just trying to get her to admit to it, but she's lying to his fucking face.
But it is her job to lie to the press. I mean, that's, regardless of who's living in the White House, that is your job.
the physical, he has
she
had
really
to
bends
see
over
a
backwards.
neurologist. So that is answering that question. No, it is.
No,
it
it's
is.
not.
You're
No,
asking.
It is not.
I
How did the White
cannot.
House
But I just.
specifically
I
about
also
the
said
president's
to you,
condition?
Ed. I also said to you, for security reasons, we cannot share names.
Now in regards to Dr. Kevin Kennard.
And I am telling you right now that I am not sharing, confirming names from here. It is a security reasons. I am not going to do that, Ed.
It goes on for much longer. There's like a
Yeah.
5-minute clip of this that people can watch should they
This
be
is
so inclined.
ugly.
But it's not a security reason because we've heard of White House guest books before. You know, I've heard comments on people who visited there. But
I think Ed's gonna wind up dead. Is what's gonna happen to old Ed.
Well, yeah. If he was speaking about Hillary, if he was asking questions about Hillary, I think he'd already be past. He'd already have gone to Greenland. But I have one other clip from a different briefing where it's much shorter. But not only do Karine Jean-Pierre kind of get in the way of something that a reporter says, but NBC's Kelly O'Donnell tries to shoot down what I think is it's a Chip Chipperson fucking home run Cumia, what this guy says. So you got to listen.
Absolutely running. Yeah. Well, he's saying that, and I'm sharing with you his view.
And we would invite the president to come here and tell us that directly.
Noted, Kelly.
But
He's awake.
That's inappropriate.
As you heard from your colleague, the president of the WHO.
So I don't know who it is. I couldn't find out who said that. Said that we'd love for him to come down here if he's awake. Yeah.
Oh my God.
That's inappropriate.
Noted, Kelly.
But
He's awake.
That's inappropriate.
I would have put money on Peter Ducey, but he doesn't sound like that. I know his voice. So whoever said that, kudos. Look, there's a lot of, Biden's done some phone interviews. He sat down with George Stephanopoulos. I don't know what we get out of me playing any of those. I think that it tells us everything that we need to know. he has every right to stay in, though. He did get all those delegates, so you kind of can't make him leave. And I don't know, for the dumpster fire aspect of it, I'm like, oh yeah, don't leave, because that's like 4 more months. Like, what is this going to look like in 4 months? You know,
Jon Stewart on the Daily Show put together about a 15-minute piece about this that just went. It was yesterday. I posted it, but it's great. It is great about the ridiculousness of these people who are still enabling this sick man and not trying to convince him to end this nonsense. It was fucking great.
Well, somebody who's also in the camp of wants him to stick around for a while is our friend Robo Shitstain, Reverend Shitstain, Robo Shitstain Mark 5000, who sent me this clip. I had seen other clips of Biden at a black church, I think in Philadelphia over the weekend, but Reverend Shitstain shares this one where you'll see that there's an instruction to the congregation that he doesn't immediately follow.
And together,
stand together.
At the cross, where I first saw the light, and the burdens of my heart.
This song is so loud. So he's tapping his leg. You know what doesn't help is whoever this chick is next to him also doesn't stand up.
No, that's fucking him up too. But that look there with one eye open, the other one half open. Mouth, lips slightly apart. That screams Parkinson. That should be like the logo for Parkinson's. Right
Remember like a month ago where he answered questions in that briefing room, and he looked back, and the RNC used that look from him as like, look how evil he is. Oh. Now it's just like, oh no, this is like, you know, I've compared it to Old Yeller before, so I probably shouldn't, but I couldn't think of anything else.
I've thought since it started.
Yeah, we'll just watch it. It's okay. You can talk.
I was gonna say, I've said Trump is gonna win. However, now it's gonna be a landslide. Yeah. It's gonna be an absolute embarrassment now.
I think I saw one of those maps, and polling changes a lot, but I think I saw a Trump 400 electoral votes map earlier. So you know, but to Biden's credit, eventually when the chick next to him really did fuck him up, because he's tapping his leg because, you know, the rhythm isn't going to get him. The rhythm can't get him. But when this lady stands up, he's like, oh, okay, I guess. Oh, he's standing up too. So,
oh, no.
So we stand, and what point do I get to sit? And you know, Whoopi asked a good question. When do I get to go take a shit? Because I can feel it now. All right, we'll close out politics after one last clip. Also from Reverend Shitstain. A lot of people have seen this. Eric, I know you referenced it. This is Donald Trump doing what he does best. Not knowing that every mic is a hot mic, but also not giving a shit if every mic is a hot mic, telling you exactly what he thinks while seated in a golf cart. That is his happy place.
Amazing. Keep that old broken down pile of crap. Yeah. It's a bad guy. He just quit, you know. He's quitting the race. Is that right? Yep, I got him out of the race. And that means we have Kamala. I think she's going to be better. She's so bad. She's so pathetic. It's so amazing. It's just so fucking bad. So, but can you imagine that guy dealing with Putin and the president of China, who's a fierce person? He's a fierce man, a very tough guy. And they see him, they can't. But they just announced he's probably quitting. Good. Yeah, that's amazing. Just keep knocking him out, right?
They'll just keep knocking him out.
We'll just keep knocking him out.
They just announced he's probably quitting, as if someplace like, we would like to announce that he's probably quitting.
Yeah, a lot of people announced that he was probably quitting, and I couldn't make heads or tails of it. So I was like, I'm just going to stay out of this because nobody cares what I think. Anyway, we're going to keep an eye on all this. Don't you worry, Easy. We'll. I feel like there's going to be no shortage of clips over the next 4 months.
That's true.
But, it's high noon here in the West, 3 p.m. in the East. So let's start to wind down with who are these sportscasters?
Home of the hourly triple play.
W-A-T-B.
Who are these sportscasters? Just listen and find out. Who are these sportscasters?
So on last week's show, Eric, you were unfortunately unable to be here with us, but I had a clip of Christopher Mad Dog Russo demonstrating that sports commentators, no matter how big the story is, shouldn't always weigh in on politics. And his former partner, Mike Francesa, reinforces that as he kind of goes through sort of some jumbled up analysis where you'd think that he's talking about the presidential election like it's the Jets' defensive line. And personally, I'd vote for Al Blades Jr. over Biden or Trump or even RFK Jr., but I don't think he's going to be on the ballot. But let's get a little snippet of Mike Francesa. As with everything that I get from Mike Francesa comes from a Twitter account called Back After This, the Fun House, and it is the archive for all things Mike Francesa.
Odds on him keeping the nomination are not overwhelming because I think there might be. Listen, I don't have any connection to Joe Biden.
Wait a minute. Hold on a second. You're telling me that Mike Francesa, formerly the top billing of Mike and the Mad Dog, doesn't know the president of the United States? What? Mike, you're breaking stories and breaking hearts all over America.
Oh no! And he's
From
got.
what I can understand, the people.
Sorry, go ahead.
He's gotten very weak voiced. He's dying. We're
This is
hearing
not
him
what he-
die.
When somebody that you remember being boisterous and fat and falling asleep on camera with a Diet Coke in front of them, when they get really skinny, you're like, oh no.
Yep. He's dying. He'll be dead in days.
People are going to influence him or his wife and Barack Obama. Maybe Clyburn a little bit too, because he was very instrumental. Without Clyburn, he doesn't get the nomination last time. He doesn't win the election last time.
So that was the part I wanted to get to. He's like, oh yeah. He knows who Jim Clyburn is. So obviously he's qualified to speak on this.
Well, here's the thing. It drives me crazy when people who talk politics or sports just simply give us tidbits and boring opinions without actually doing anything interesting. I find that happening so much more in sports talk as well, where I'm like, why are you X's and O's-ing me to death, you dumb fuck? Give me something interesting.
Yeah, I once heard Colin Cowherd spend about 20 minutes on how much he likes maps, like physical fold-out maps. And I was like, okay, but how are the Cowboys going to win on Sunday, Colin? Could you give me that instead? Keeping it to sports talk commentators, when sports talk guys don't know about something that everybody else knows about, they can be kind of relentless about finding out just what it is. And sometimes, when you're probably younger and a little bit more plugged in staff know about something and they tell you, why don't you look it up? You should maybe listen to them. So another topic that you missed last week, we spent some time on the Hawk Tuah girl. And that is our most watched episode in the history of the show, by the way, because she was in the thumbnail. She was in the description. So for that reason, let me remind everybody of the Hawk Tuah girl.
Move in bed that makes a man go crazy every time.
Oh, you gotta give him that Hawk Tuah and spit on that thing. You get me?
I don't get you. I think you gotta demonstrate.
Hawk Tuah and spit on it. Spit on it.
Okay.
Jesus Christ.
Also, she's only 21, so not someone that I could do a write-in vote for president. But I'm listening to all offers at this point, Eric.
Yes.
All right. So to have that background, this idea that sports talk hosts, radio hosts who don't know something aren't going to give in until you tell them what the thing is. It's called the Greg Opie Hughes approach to broadcasting. So Boston sports talk host Michael Felger has no idea what Hawk Tuah is, and everybody's trying to help him stay out of the way. This is video from television, but this is on broadcast radio. It's over-the-air radio. This isn't satellite radio. So they're trying to be like, we really can't talk about it.
The hat, I love it. It's the best thing I've seen on the simulcast in a while. Thanks, guys.
So a caller calls in and likes this one guy's hat that he's got a Hawk Tuah 24, like campaign style hat.
Okay.
Okay. That's the thing for our audio audience tonight.
I love it. It's the best thing I've seen on the simulcast in a while. Thanks, guys.
Hey, thanks.
I haven't even seen it.
Yeah,
what is
does
that?
it say,
Murray?
Hawk Tuah 24. It's a popular internet meme that's gone viral over the last, 2 weeks.
It's all over everything.
Looks like a woman vomiting on the side of your hat.
What does it represent?
Look it up for yourself. I'm not going to explain on air.
Is it a Biden thing?
No, not at all.
Okay.
You're better off just Googling it yourself, because I don't know how much I can say
Do I have to do this in real time? What is it now?
Just look it up during the break.
Hawk?
Look it up during the break,
No,
idiot.
what if I want to look it up right now?
And not spelled like Tuah.
Oh, yeah, I saw this. No, Mike, you got to.
So even the idiot in the middle is like, oh, yeah, even I fucking know what this thing is. Oh, yeah, we can't talk about that on the air. You're going to have to, why don't you Google it during the commercial?
Google it. He can't say it on air.
Yeah, see, thank you.
Yeah. Okay, and now I can't. I don't understand what this I don't even get what this is. All right,
You'll pop positively once you see it. You'll laugh out loud.
I just said it off the top of my head, but this guy really is Opie. He's
Yeah.
not letting it go.
No. He's God, that's fucking maddening. And he
Okay,
looks like a
okay, but
fucking
what is
idiot,
it
too.
exactly?
There was a man on the street interview with two lovely looking.
So the
Oh, Jesus.
the least photogenic or radio friendly person decides I gotta end this. So the producer pops in and is like, all right, we gotta start taking calls on whether or not the Celtics can repeat. Let's move on from this. But
Ladies, and the interview kind of went in a different direction that you have to see the video and the meme to understand.
JFK Head Chunk says it's what your boyfriend does, dummy. And DeWire Christian says, Iraq comment? Yeah, so basically this is like having Iraq or Sam Roberts explain to Opie what something is, just so that they can move on from it.
I love Iraq forever.
I'm Team Iraq now and forever, and I always look for an opportunity to collaborate with him, and I guess he's got a little bit more time now. So
Yeah,
maybe
anybody
he'll.
know where,
What's that?
anybody know where I can get a good TriCaster?
He might have some ideas for that. So we've got just a couple more clips before we get to our main event. This is one you sent me, Eric, and I decided it wouldn't be fair if we played it when you weren't here last week. This is a live feed, hot mic coverage of the Florida Panthers victory celebration. I don't think we need any more setup than that, do we?
Nope.
Some people from Alabama, of course, up and down Florida. The fans are here.
Let's just say Matthew Tkachuk is a fucking baller.
Oh, okay. This is live TV. We don't need to cuss on live TV, ma'am. All right, so let's get back to the fans.
So I love anytime somebody does that. But what about the woman who says that? And I've zoomed in on her for our visual.
Oh, yeah.
audience. What makes you think, oh, I have to let her talk right now? Yeah, she's going to have something good to say.
Yeah, hockey bitches are tough. So, I wouldn't have done. I like how where you have it at the still frame. The reporter freaking out with that giant mouth agape. Holy shit.
This is the entire human condition in one image right here.
Well, by the way, that reporter, she just screams hockey fan.
Yeah. Oh, no. I mean, I'm sure she grew up with hockey posters all over her walls. I think that's accurate. Yeah.
Oh, okay. This is live TV. We don't need to cuss on live TV, ma'am. All right, so let's get back to the fans. She was really eager to say something, so I got to monitor that now.
Yeah, you think? You think maybe don't hand the microphone into a crowd of people in the rain who are probably drunk despite the fact that they're in the rain?
Exactly. Most chick hockey fans are ugly and drunk anyway. So,
yeah,
pretty much.
Before we move on to the main event, what probably everybody's been waiting for, I have one last clip. I know that you have been annoyed whenever I've featured any clips from Mets broadcasts featuring Grimace, the McDonald's mascot. I will tell you, I took my kids to a Mets game. Grimace was in the owner's suite. They showed him up on the Jumbotron. People went crazy. I might have cheered too. My kids are like, I know Grimace. We love Grimace. Well, Keith Hernandez in the booth might share your views on Grimace. There is someone in the crowd in an inflatable Grimace outfit.
Okay.
It's the inflatable Grimace.
Oh, is it? Wouldn't you just love to have an ice pick and pop it? Here.
No, I'm not a Grimace popper.
I think the idea that he would just assault Grimace with an ice pick made me laugh. So, look, clearly Keith has an issue with Grimace, which, you know, if I had to guess, there's probably a misdemeanor from like 1987, caught in a McDonald's men's room with some California pancake, a.k.a. Bolivian marching powder, a.k.a. China White. So, you know, he's probably got it in for Mayor McCheese and everybody. But I did love just a very matter-of-fact way. It made me think of you when I saw that he's like, Gary, wouldn't you love to have an ice pick? And I feel like that's what my buddy EZ would want.
Yeah,
all right.
absolutely. You know, the world would be a better place with less Grimace.
Well, you know what? We can agree to disagree. That's where you and me part company, T. So one of my favorite parts of the 4th of July has always been the Nathan's hot dog eating contest, which here on the West Coast, it airs at like 9 a.m. So it's perfect to watch these fat bastards just shove hot dogs in their face. It's so disgusting, but it's long before lunch. However, this year I refused to watch because they barred the people's champion, Joey Chestnut, from participating.
Right. Yes.
I don't stand for that. Kobayashi didn't bother me as much, and you know, you can figure that part out. However, I have no problem checking out the undercard, which was the lemonade chugging contest, where you see how quickly you can drink a gallon of lemonade, Eric. And on the line was the 3-time championship of Eric Badlands Booker. So let's take a look and see the competition. It's the same guy who does the whole spiel before the hot dog eating contest. This is down at Coney Island, the Nathans in Brooklyn. So let's take a look at this. So, all right, we see some people here. They're focused on the champion. That is Eric Badlands Griffin. And he's got a little gyration. He's got a technique down.
Badlands in a zone here. I don't know
Wow.
It's like a wave machine.
Yep. All right. Looks like somebody next to him's having some issues, but we'll just focus on the fact that he finished.
Ladies and gentlemen,
gallon.
Badlands Booker, a new world record. 21 seconds, a new world record.
So in 21 seconds, he drank a gallon of lemonade.
Jesus.
And I think that that visual is probably something out of Gino Bisconti's Nightmares. And I only say him because we've mentioned Cumbia like 3 times already today. So I figured I'd move it over to Gino. Okay. All right. So this is a proud championship. This is a great moment for Eric Badlands Booker, but no one's talking about the winner of the lemonade chugging contest because of the simple fact that someone who didn't even place, not a runner-up. Let's just say he didn't have his best afternoon. It's very hot there. It's very humid. It's very sweaty. And I searched. I could not find the name of this guy. But we're going to see this guy right here who he's having some issues. And all right.
He didn't even drink that much. He didn't even drink that much.
He drank like a quarter of it, maybe. Well, I'll round up to a quarter. Okay. And I think that the announcements are a little bit distracting. So we're just going to show. All right. So he gets a little bit, another chunk out. And Badlands, I'm never happier about having paused on something that I am right now. And Badlands is like, all right, you know, I've got respect for my fellow competitors. He's calling somebody over. Hey, this guy's in trouble. And that doesn't even look like lemonade. It's just like all water. Okay, there's some more coming out. I'm glad there's some room between him and the crowd. And every time he's projectile vomiting, what just looks like, you know, when they have like in movies, they have those like fake pumps for fake vomit. It looks like somebody's got it turned up too high.
What was that goddamn movie where this happened?
Stand
by Me. Stand by Me.
Yeah, Stand by Me, the pie eating contest. This guy basically is lard ass from the pie eating contest in Stand by Me. So he's struggling. And he's trying to settle his stomach down. Badlands is like, okay, I'm going to stay back here with my belts. Why don't you walk it off, buddy? And so he's walking off the stage and slowly but surely walking off the stage.
Look at his body.
And he's not done. He's not done.
Yes.
And down the stairs.
At this point, he's probably throwing up his own piss.
Yeah. And here's the last kicker.
Folks, I was looking away, but I understand Elvis left the building.
Yes, he does indeed believe that Elvis has left the building. And I cannot believe that we live in a world where there's not only hot dog eating contests, there's lemonade chugging, but also projectile vomiting can be featured on national television.
Great.
Look, Eric Badlands Booker might have maintained his belt, but I think this guy's the real champion, don't you, Eric?
Absolutely. That's your winner. That's your winner. He didn't do anything, and he threw it all up.
Adam Lassiter says John Melendez at his finest. Absolutely. I don't disagree with that. Well, I appreciate everybody hanging in with us. I wanted to share all of that. We will keep our Hall of Fame for next time because it is time for our plugs and our programming notes. But more importantly than that, it's time for everybody's favorite part of the show.
The teaser. Next week's teaser. The teaser. The teaser.
Because the last episode of Who Are These Podcasts that Carl did, he didn't know what the next episode was going to be. So I've taken it upon myself to tease the fact that I will be on the next episode of WATP. So if you go to whoarethese.com and you join the Patreon or you subscribe on YouTube and become a member, you'll be able to watch us live at 5 p.m. Eastern, 2 p.m. Pacific, where the show that we're going to cover is called Action Boys with a Z on the end. And I probably don't need to show a clip. You can probably imagine what this is. But fortunately, I do have a clip of the guys in Action Boys, the Action Boys themselves, John Gabrus, Ben Rogers, and Ryan Stanger, where they claim to discuss / ruin your favorite action movies while also ruining your eardrums and possibly your brain. That might be my commentary. But here's a little tease to tomorrow's WATP.
Squad now is access to the video of Shadow Wolves and an entirely separate episode where we cover a TV show.
Last Wednesday of every month is Shadow Wolves. Second Wednesday every
We'll
Monday.
send you a decoder to kind of figure this stuff out.
You'll be able to use the map on the back of your Action Boys cereal box, which kind of shows you.
Do not eat that cereal, by the way.
Cereal is
Do
not
not.
for consumption. It is
Do
not
not.
to be consumed.
I'm curious if they still do the toys in the box.
I fucking love those toys, man. I had a whole system for fishing them out. Pull the whole bag out of the box and like fucking spot it. And then you'd have to like shake it to try to get it back in the box.
Ram the cereal's now fat ass into like
Yeah.
You got a big old fat ass now,
I'm
don't
gonna
you?
ram this Cinnamon Toast Crunch's fat ass back into this box.
What happened to you, Tony the Tiger? You big old fat ass.
You're bringing up.
It's great.
So tune in tomorrow for Action Boys. Carl and I and presumably producer Chris will be diving into the world of Action Boys. When I suggested it, I didn't realize that many of their episodes are 3.5 to 4 hours long. So that's on me.
They are.
I've really carved out my homework for this one, and that's all right though. I'm excited to do it, and yeah, the Dwyer Christian. Okay, you're gay now. We get it. Were you gonna share one from JFK Head Chunk, Eric?
I didn't mean to, but I'm going to because he writes, "You're never safe until you're clear of the birth canal." 3 mutants.
Yeah, I kind of left that one without commenting. The hot takes on cereal boxes and the funny voices. I'm going to tease something. One of those guys does an amazingly terrible Donald Trump impression, and I'll be sharing that with Carl tomorrow on WATP. And if that's not enough for me, check out from last Friday when I was on that reality show with Helga Mann, filling in for Lisa Boswell. We had some great fun over there. But Eric, let everybody know where they can find you.
Well, they all know. I don't need to explain it, but if you insist, if you ever want to hear the world's worst podcast, just search out the Eric Zane Show podcast, downloadable audio wherever you download shows.
I'm going to tell you
every day.
I'm going to tell you that I've listened to an episode and a half this week, and I enjoyed hearing about your suffering and driving the RV. But what I always tell you, my favorite thing you ever do is comment on Free Beer and Hot Wings and any members of that show, specifically Free Beer himself, because, you know, we make fun of people that we think are kind of like goofy and shouldn't be broadcasting. When the hate is real, the content is so much better. You're like the Emperor from Star Wars. Your hate only makes you stronger. It makes a much better show.
Boy, thank you. That's a great compliment, because I do hate that fucker.
I know you do. And that's why I always tell you, like, you can never go in on that guy enough. And sharing a photo of his apparently somewhat attractive female co-host. You can find that on the Eric Zane show.
There you go.
And you know what? I'm not even going to plug my dumb shit.
You.
I already did. Go over to the Eric Zane show. And please, as I said, join the Patreon for Who Are These podcasts at whoarethese.com. And we've been telling you DabbleCon is August 16th and 17th in Rochester. That is all the time we have for now. I can't do the conversion. Cardiff gave us $2.79 Canadian. Streamlabs, PayPal, Venmo gave us $2. I feel like they're the same dollar amount. I don't know that.
Yeah.
Cardiff, how much is $2.79 Canadian? I just don't know. So I'm going to read them both. How about that? Because I'm going to say I'm really disappointed. Oh, my God. JFK head chunk at the last minute. Thank you, sir. We are so much closer to the goal now. Now we're going to do 20 more minutes where we try and get another $340. Thank you, JFK head chunk, for being the funniest person on this show. You're not the second funniest anymore. You are the best. We love JFK head chunk, but still, Streamlabs, PayPal, Venmo, Super Chat, gifted memberships. I'm Christian Bladt, reminding you that every mic is a hot mic. And I'm voting Biden because I want to, and America wins. Man, $10. I'm going to read it again. I'm Christian, and I'm voting Biden because I want to, and America wins. Goodbye, everybody. Goodbye.